Anime, like a lot of other things in life, has always been an escape for me. When you can watch shows about giant robots fighting in a political war, demons searching for a magic crystal in feudal Japan, or a school that focuses on raising superheroes, it often seems pointless to watch any show that restrains itself to the limits of reality. To put it simply, a slice of life story has never really appealed to me because in many ways I've been trying to escape that life for a time. But then came this little anime that not only is a slice of life series showing us a story that could possibly take place in reality, but is a peek into someone who has a real life issue that not only is rarely talked about, but is also rarely given this level of respect. Let's talk about Komi Can't Communicate. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, I am your ever-friendly Pokeprof, and welcome back to Fascinating Fiction. Getting right into the thick of things, Komi Can't Communicate is an anime that stars two characters, a young high schooler by the name of Hirohito Tanado and his classmate, the titular Shoko Komi. Meeting together on their first day of school, things immediately go a little crazy as Komi's quiet demeanor and beauty makes her instantly popular to the entire class, to the point where everyone hates Tanado for being able to sit next to her, something that crushes Tanado, whom only wanted to be a normal high school kid after his darker middle school days. After waking up from being knocked out by the rest of the class's eagerness to see Komi, just roll with it, Tanado wakes up to find her whispering to a small plush toy. Komi immediately starts to run from him, only to be stopped when Tanado asks Komi this.
Could it be you're not great at talking with people?
As it turns out, Komi here finds it hard, if not impossible, to speak to people through normal means. To even tell this to Tanado, to explain anything, she has to write on the chalkboard instead. Not being much better at talking, Tanado tries to leave, but Komi stops him, desperate to be able to talk to someone, to tell them her thoughts. Komi goes on writing on the chalkboard, detailing how she longs to talk about things, even simple matters like her favorite TV show or the weather, but can't bring it up to anyone at all because her body freezes up upon trying to speak. It's only after pouring this all out that Komi tries to take her leave, apologizing for taking up Tanado's time, when he starts writing on the chalkboard, telling her without speaking that it's a nice day outside, and it develops into one of the first and best heartwarming moments in the entire series. But this isn't even the defining moment of this very first episode. That would be, as the school day ends with the two still writing on the chalkboard, Tanado asking Komi if she has a dream. She replies that she wishes to have 100 friends, to which Tanado responds that he'll be her first, and help her with the other 99. The episode ends out with Tanado confirming to himself that he must help Komi, who can't communicate, make those friends. And that is the core of the show. A young woman who suffers from social anxiety and the story of her working through that thanks to her first real friend. This alone, the idea of having one of your focal characters having this very real and very debilitating aspect to themselves and making the entire show about it is shocking in and of itself. But what makes Komi such a delight to watch is how the rest of the cast reacts to learning about her anxiety. While anyone who isn't named Tanado is often weird, over the top, and often very silly in their own ways, they all accept Komi even after they learn the truth about her. They're willing to get to know her, care for her, and most are even willing to become friends. This is a very powerful thing for a lot of viewers to watch, simply because that's something that just doesn't happen in real life. When someone learns about you having a mental issue, like Komi struggles with speaking, the vast majority of people's first reaction isn't acceptance and trying to help them. Their first reaction is often to say, "What's wrong with you?" Like it's a problem or that it's your fault that you're a little bit different from everybody else. That's something that's never brought up in the series, instead focusing on the bonds these characters build and helping our protagonist work through her social anxiety. But if the concept alone of the anime isn't enough to sell you on checking it out, then the fact that it does slice of life different than a lot of other shows just might. Most of the other slice of life anime I've seen up to this point has the same problem of not really being connected to each other or having any real development between the characters. For the most part, they're about making some silly jokes, getting a laugh from the audience, and moving on to the next joke. By their very nature of being slice of life, we don't get much progressions with the characters in question. This is where Komi switches things up. While we do get many stories that could easily be standalone, little adventures that allow us to see how Komi is and how the world around her reacts, there are just as many episodes that actually change up the status quo. Hell, in the second episode, we get introduced to Najimi Asana, who joins Tanato as Komi's friend. By giving us the goal to work towards 2 and 99 friends for our silent protagonists, we can actually keep track of the progress that the series makes. You add in the slow growth of Komi herself, in some episodes even being able to speak a few words, and the slice of life becomes something that even I can sink my teeth into. Komi Can't Communicate also has a number of other characters that are rarely seen in media, much less anime, because of the unique school the characters are in. And while they are definitely played for comedy, like with Komi herself, it's rarely ever done so maliciously. While probably not the best representation of it, Najimi is a gender-fluid character, often switching back and forth between male and female. This is something that not many people are even aware about being a thing, much less showing off a character who is well-meaning and someone who tries to be a good friend, even if they are more than a little mischievous. There's a bunch of other characters with unique quirks as well, each one trying to move forward in life in high school and having their own trials to do so. I will say that one negative comment I've actually heard about Komi is the fact that a lot of people see it as a savior anime, because there is a lot of focus on Tanato and the fact that he's the one to give Komi what she needs in a friend. The complaint here is the fact that the anime isn't so much about helping Komi, but making the watcher insert themselves into Tanato's place and having this beautiful girl that they can save. And while on the one hand I can understand exactly where a lot of people are coming from in that respect, since without Tanato there wouldn't be an anime in the first place, I personally gotta say that's a very, very pessimistic way of looking at things. The focus of the anime isn't to make Tanato into some sort of unsaliable god, or even that much of a good character in and of himself. The focus of the anime is Komi's problems, how she suffers through on her issues, and the fact that one kind person noticed her problems and offered a hand in friendship to move beyond that. Even with the characters looking like they're moving into an eventual romance with the upcoming second season already being greenlit, it says a lot about people when they think, oh, it's just about this nerdy guy getting a hot babe as a girlfriend, instead of paying attention to the actual core of the anime itself. The fact that Komi is saved by Tanato isn't the point. It's about having kindness, care, and good nature to be there with someone that has an illness that can't easily be overcome, and accepting them regardless of that difference. Komi Can't Communicate is a very special anime. I'm hard pressed to think of any other time I've ever seen a topic like this made the central focus, and the fact that they handle it so well amazes me. Komi is an adorable protagonist who faces some real issues that I think a lot of people can relate to, and there are probably many others who still wish they could have someone else out there reach out and offer them a friend without anything else being required. The world is already such a harsh and abrasive place for so many people. Having an anime that can show how good acceptance can be, how much it can help people care and grow, I'll always want more of that. If you're wanting to see Komi, the entire first season is currently on Netflix in both native Japanese and English for a total of 12 episodes. The second season should actually be out sometime this month, so if you're wanting to enjoy the continuing adventures of Komi and her quest to get 100 friends, I'd highly suggest tuning in. Regardless, I hope I've done a good job to entertain you, and I'll do my best to do so again in the future. Hopefully you'll follow along with my content by subscribing and doing all those other things that gives us YouTubers life. If you want to support me a bit more, I do have a Patreon where you can get access to bonus content. But until next time, stay frosty.